Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boogeyman Radio. I'm Dave,
and I'm Charles.
It's Charles.
Something like that.
I am sick today and yesterday.
No.
My energy levels are not as up to par as I would like them to be. So, you guys, hope it's not going to be a snooze fest, but I don't think it will. I'll try to muster.
I don't think so either.
Muster the energy here.
It'll be fine.
Been a heck of a week. You know, I made a post last night, something along the lines of, just sometimes things just hit you out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, kind of, it's all about timing. I had a really good idea about something last night, or actually yesterday. I left work early because I was getting feverish, and
Terry.
You know, as I kept going, I went on home, and it just hit me like this idea, and I'm like, why hasn't anybody thought of this idea? So I think I'm going to pursue this. I'm not going to say what it is right now, but just know that these wheels are turning, and it is in the paranormal realm. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. Plus, I kind of talked to KD a little bit about something.
Oh, nice.
A potential something device, but
even better. Nice.
It'll be interesting. So anyway, a lot of curious stuff going on, but maybe I got sick and had to leave work so I could, probably focus on
this idea.
Hashing them out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. So how's your week? Been?
Man, it's been a pretty good week. Let's see. I'm trying to think anything crazy. Worked a few Christmas parties, which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It was. It's always a good time. I love working the holiday parties. It's really helps with the festiveness and joy and great.
Are you feeling it yet? The Christmas vibe? Getting into the Christmas?
Yes and no. Yes, I know it's Christmas, and it does feel a little bit like Christmas. But no, because Christmas hasn't felt like Christmas in a long time for me.
Aww.
It has to go back to, like, family stuff, but it's okay. I'm still excited for it. Like, I'm very excited for this season, so... I will say I celebrated Christmas with my family pretty early because my dad's in Texas for 4 months, so he won't be here for Christmas, but that's okay. I still have my mom, my sister, and my brother, so I'll go see them probably on Christmas morning. We're doing breakfast at my sister's house, but yeah, no, it's been a good week, though. How about you? Aside from getting sick, of course.
Yeah, I got all my Christmas shopping done that I'm going to do. I went to Branson, took my daughter to Branson, got to see the lights, got to see Santa for the second time.
Nice.
But I took my mom shopping on Saturday, and I think that's where I got this, was because I went to Walmart in Branson.
Oh,
and it was packed, man. I was getting pissed off just being around so many people. I have that anxiety where if there's too many people in a crowded store like that, and people won't get out of the way, and they stop in front of you, it drives me.
Yep.
So I kind of rushed around there. But I think I got sick from somebody there.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Nobody else was sick, like in the family. Hung out with my brothers. That was good. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah. Guys, tonight we're talking Christmas. It is how many days before? We're 25 days. 25. We are 5
20th. So
I was thinking 20th and 25th. Yeah, we're 5 days away from Christmas. What
Woo!
better way to talk about Christmas than to bring up traditions, huh? And if you guys have any holiday traditions, throw them in the comment section. Let us know what you guys do for Christmas. If you got some kind of weird tradition that your family does, let us know. Lori says, my Christmas shopping will be at my house, selecting the perfect crystals for everyone. I rock.
It's awfully nice of you.
Bah humbug, says Kelly.
Boys, what's up, Cassie? Good to see you. Glad you're healing very well. Glad to see the progression.
Get that mark of the whore like stamped in there. She knows what I'm talking about. It's an inside joke.
It's a bad rip. Yeah, anyways.
The mark of the whore.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's, if you have any traditions, put them in there. Charles, you want to kick us off with some bizarre
Halloween. I almost said Halloween traditions.
traditions? Yes.
Yeah, let's get some Halloween traditions just a couple months late, eh?
You're gonna say you won a bar fight. That's even better.
I like that one.
You bit somebody's fist off.
Absolutely. All right, so these aren't necessarily past historical. I'm going to start off with some of the different ways that Christmas is celebrated across the United States. So just like weird little celebrations that people have with Christmas. The first one on this list we're going to start off with is in Camden, New Jersey, visiting Scuba Santa. In Camden, New Jersey, inside the Adventure Aquarium Ocean Realm tank, Santa opts to go underwater instead of flying. Every year, he goes for a dip in his red robe and hat. Thankfully, he leaves his sack of toys outside of the water, and kids can stop by Santa's tank to snap selfies, write letters, and check out the world's tallest underwater Christmas tree. For the present you absolutely shouldn't be giving this year, check out this year's most... anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, the fact that this aquarium goes above and beyond to celebrate Christmas by having a diving Santa, it's pretty cool. It's very different, unique. I like it.
It is.
Is the armpit of the East Coast area. God bless. Yeah, sounds about right.
I was trying to find some dark Christmas music to play because we are a paranormal show. New Jersey, trash.
What?
If you're from New Jersey, no offense, but it's just trash out there. That's all it is.
It's New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. It's the Alabama of the North.
Exactly. Let's see here. Oh crap! Looked at the wrong thing. Give me a second.
While you're looking that up, here's one that I thought was kind of cool. This is something that happens in Sweden. They have what they call the Yule goat. I guess this has been a symbol dating back to ancient pagan festivals. However, in 1966, the tradition got a whole new life after someone came up with the idea to make a giant straw goat, now referred to, and I'm going to butcher the name, as the Galv goat. According to the official website, the goat is more than 42 feet high, 23 feet wide, and weighs 3.6 tons. It's a lot of straw. Each year, the massive goat is constructed in the same spot, and fans can watch a live stream from the first Sunday of Advent until after the New Year when it's taken down. Pretty cool. Now that I know that, I kind of want to see the live stream,
That would make it really cool, yes.
But they didn't include
I'd
the
love
link.
to check that out. Of course they didn't. You can look it up, see if there's one.
What a bunch of buttholes. Me.
Well, can't help it, but... Alright, so this other one that I found is that this group of people in Nanwalek celebrates Christmas on January 7th. Yeah. So Orthodox Christians in communities across Alaska celebrate or celebrated Christmas January 7th in the village of Nanwalek on the southern Kenai Peninsula. People spent Christmas Eve singing at the St. Sergius and Herman Church. In the community, about 300 people, many of whom are Alutiiq
Lunatic.
descent. Yeah, a lunatic. Yeah, pretty much. They sing in Slavonic, a liturgical language used by the Orthodox Church in Russia and Eastern Europe. It's a remnant of the fur trade era and the Russian colonism. So, unlike the rest of the world,
Yeah.
they celebrate Christmas on the
Look, I'm
7th.
sure we got internet out there too, right? Catch up.
Yeah. It just takes them a little bit to get there, you know? It's it's like just whatever, it's fine. So they get to celebrate. I mean, they get to celebrate Christmas longer, technically. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not just like just December and then that's it. It goes to the 7th of January as well. It's a few more days, but I don't. They don't even explain why. They're just like, oh, it's on the 7th. Like, why? Idiots. Anyways, so in Wisconsin.
Uh-oh.
DeForest. I like this one. DeForest, Wisconsin. It's the name of the place. Is DeForest. DeForest. What do we call this? DeForest. Sorry. It's funny to me. A Christmas ham or turkey might be familiar to most, but Americans of Scandinavia descent are just as likely to whip up a certain seafood dish for Christmas. Codfish preserved in lye, also known as lutefish. According to Smithsonian Magazine, the lutefish dinner is an annual fall and winter tradition at scores of Lutheran churches and Nordic fraternal groups throughout the upper Midwest and Pacific Northwest, or anywhere with a large Scandinavian American population. Christian Church in DeForest, Wisconsin, for example, hosts an annual lutefish dinner. I wonder if this city is in DeForest.
You're writing on that really hard.
I know.
I think
it
I
was good though.
I think I'd rather visit Japan. There's like I think it was like 1% of Japan is like Christian, right? So
Yeah.
those particular people have a tradition about going to KFC for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah. So instead of having like a big turkey dinner and stuff, they just go to KFC, get a 12-piece basket or whatever. And,
Hey, well, wouldn't you say Colonel Sanders is pretty close to Santa?
I mean, both fat, both have gray hair, both got a great catchphrase.
Both can have red, chubby cheeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Both bring gifts to people that don't expect them
Well,
or expect them.
I guess they could.
Yeah, right. So another one, if I don't know who thought about this one, but if you've ever had the dream to go rock climbing with Santa, this is your chance. Because in Chimney Rock, North Carolina,
Hell yeah.
that's exactly what they do.
Woo!
Now, we all know that Santa Claus loves climbing down chimneys, so it makes sense that he'd be a fan of Chimney Rock. Every December, he makes his way from North Pole to scale the 315-foot mountain in North Carolina before descending and joining Mrs. Claus and visitors for some live holiday music, cocoa, and cookies.
That sounds so familiar. Chimney Rock. Like
It does.
I wonder if I heard about
It
that.
looks beautiful. The picture, though, yeah. Looks like a beautiful place to go.
I'll have to look it up. That does sound so familiar. Maybe I'm thinking of like the Blair Witch Project where there's that rock.
Maybe.
It's
possible.
But no, I mean like from filming out there, I think maybe that came up.
Quite possible.
But there's an element to Christmas that I really kind of wanted to talk about in accordance with the show, obviously.
Yeah, all right.
Like there's a lot of traditions out there, some that are deviant, like Krampus, you know?
Yeah.
But something that doesn't get talked about very much is the fact that Christmas is just as spiritual as Halloween.
Yeah.
Fight me
Quite
on
a
that.
bit. Well, I wouldn't say just. I would almost say it's more spiritual than Halloween.
Well, think about
Depending on
this.
your definition of spiritual, I guess.
you have to believe in something that isn't there, right? A lot of spirit type activity, or at least ghost stories, are going on
Yeah,
around
absolutely.
Christmas. And in fact, in England, that was a tradition dating way back.
Yeah.
You had Charles Dickens in 1843 when he wrote The Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
It's a ghost story. There were several other ones that were published in the 1800s. All obviously served a purpose of teaching somebody a lesson. But
Well,
you look at the main players. A lot of the tradition is built around spiritualism.
it's kind of funny how they worked away too, like from how a Christmas, not how Christmas, but like there's many different angles that make up Christmas, right?
Right.
And all of them are spiritual in some sense, whether it be Jesus, Santa, the actual Saint Nicholas, Krampus.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, the Christmas like traditions that come from other pagan belief systems.
Yeah.
Like it all comes together, right? Like it's kind of interesting how that all worked.
Christmas is right up there with Halloween on the whole paranormal thing, and I think that gets overlooked. I mean, and not just ghosts and spirits, but like, take Santa for example. Santa's origin, from one lore, is that he was an immortal elf, and he he basically had like a army of elf minions to watch over children and visit them when they slept, and which if you think about, like, this is gonna be weird and pretty messed up to think of Santa this way, because he's supposed to be so happy, jolly, and such a nice thing. But think of the crazy, twisted crap he does. Like, if you really think about it, he breaks into homes, right? He'll watch you sleep.
He brings you gifts.
Well, not everybody.
Yeah. Well, Cole's a gift too,
I guess. But like, I don't know. He's a little bit manipulative too. A
little bit.
So, I think the paranormal aspect of it's really interesting to tie in, and it's not just like those main players. Another one, Black Peter, was in the Netherlands. He's a character who accompanies their Santa Claus or Sinterklaas. Black Peter is said to have joined him in Spain. Apparently, that's where they're from.
Huh.
But Peter is said to have been a conquered devil, forced to help Santa.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And he's there to punish bad children, but is not normally as mean as Krampus, although he has a bag for stealing kids or to transport back to Spain. So, a demonic force.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So, I do got to tell you, I watched the new Tim Allen Santa Claus TV show on Disney Plus. So, you know how Tim Allen had the Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3?
Okay.
Well, they made a TV show continuing his story. Oh. And it was pretty good, but I don't want to give... the first episode was weird. I'm just saying. It was a little different. And then the intro is pretty trippy. It seems like they're all on acid, but I don't know. It's just... It's out there, man. The first episode, I was just kind of like, man, but as the story went along, I kind of warmed up to it. And they actually bring in Krampus. Like, Krampus is because they bring in the mythological features in, I think, the second one. They do, like, Mother Nature, Father Time, Tooth Fairy, like, just other mythological creatures, legendary creatures. And, what?
Was it the second or third one that they had Jack Frost?
Third one.
Third one? And then they have the Tooth Fairy in it as well? Yeah.
It had all of them. Tooth Fairy, Sandman. Like, they had all of them on there. But then in the TV show, They brought in Krampus because he's jumping between. It's so weird. Like, I don't want to give away the details, but eventually, for anybody that's watching that wants to watch it, I'll just say that he does come across Krampus, which is pretty cool that they included Krampus in that. I'm just saying. It was pretty neat.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, shit.
So let's continue. Huh?
All right. So another one. This isn't really like, oh, what? Okay. Oh, you know what? I got to talk about this one because it's my hometown. So in Kansas City, they have the Kansas City Symphony, which annually hosts the Tuba Christmas. It's a gathering of tuba and euphonium players of all generations and skill levels. In the past, this musical celebration has brought together as many as 500 players. Which, if I remember correctly, my old band teacher might have actually been a part of this, but I'm not 100% sure. Because he's told me stories about I think he used to play the tuba back in the day. But I know he was a part of some big tuba gathering, and I hope that's what it was, but
maybe.
Maybe not. But yeah, and then so that one's kind of short, so I'll say another one. So in Chandler, Arizona, they have massive Christmas trees made of very unusual material since the 1950s. They've built massive trees in the center of town out of the area's famous tumbleweeds. Encased in a chicken wire frame coated in flame-retardant substance and illuminated with colored lights, and tree incorporates an estimated 1,000 dead Russian thistle bushes, according to the Atlas Obscura. So they literally make these huge Christmas trees out of tumbleweeds.
Oh. Hey, if you got them, I mean, you might as well use your resources, right?
That's right.
Or it's a good way to get rid of them too, the tumbleweeds. Mm-hmm. But, and so I just saw this in Italy. They have a holiday witch.
Really?
Yep. Befana delivers gifts to good children on Epiphany Eve, the night before the three wise men were said to arrive at baby Jesus' manger. Huh. The stories of Befana, I kind of want to sing a song about that. The stories vary, but she is an old woman who encountered the wise men and turned down an invitation to join them on their quest because she was too busy sweeping. She has a change of heart and tries to find Jesus, but is never able to. Now she travels on a broom, still searching and visiting children in the meanwhile.
Nice.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah, it is, but hey, that's okay.
I found Jesus.
This isn't. I know mine's not really side of supernatural, which is fine. I just wanted to talk about different traditions.
Yeah, that's fine.
To keep me,
I just want to give a little bit of paranormal edge in there for you guys.
No, I think it's great.
Let shit in.
So in Medora, North Dakota, during Christmas, it embraces its cowboy roots with an annual old-fashioned cowboy Christmas. The festive gathering brings members of the community together for dancing, drinks, and celebrating, though people tend to wear 10-gallon hats rather than a typical Santa cap, which is kind of funny. And then this Christmas tradition, I didn't really know was a thing, but I've actually seen my family talk about it, or not my family talk about it, but I've seen other families on Facebook post about it, and it's making Christmas tamales. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I used to live in Rogers, Arkansas, and there was a big Hispanic culture there, and a lot of my friends were Hispanic, and I've heard of that through them. But
yeah, I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and I saw my family, a cousin of mine posting pictures about making tamales, and I was like, huh, that's different. I didn't know that was a family tradition kind of thing. And then coming across that article, I was like, oh, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For Christmas. But, and then another one that I'll share real quick. Let's see here. So another dish that isn't usually thought of as typical fare is a big bowl of gumbo. But as for the Mississippi Tourism Office notes, for quite a few Mississippi families under a Cajun influence, no Christmas is complete without a big pot of gumbo made with chicken, sausage, or seafood. Warms up at any holiday gathering. Shrimp and grits is also a mainstay for many a Christmas table in the South. That sounds like a great Christmas tradition that I would love to celebrate.
I mean, yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff.
I love the gumbo. I would do it.
But
I've yet to have an authentic gumbo.
I mean,
it's a tradition of Mexico. I mean, that makes sense, Lori.
See?
Cassie's been seeing them all over TikTok, so that makes sense.
Tamales all over TikTok. Well, I mean, tamales are kind of in like tacos, you know?
Yeah. I know a lot of people that would love to do this. So in Mobile, Alabama, every Christmas, the residents skip the Santa outfits and dress like workers, aka elves, for Alpha Palooza. Participants sing Christmas karaoke, watch the Christmas classics, and sip hot chocolate, beer, wine, while aiming to beat the Guinness World Record for the most Santa elves in a single location, which is currently held in Bangkok, Thailand, by the way. It's an interesting place to...
It's an odd place for Christmas elves.
Yeah, but
I mean,
what are you gonna do?
Like, I wouldn't expect Thailand to really hold the record for that.
I wouldn't either because, like, I didn't think Christmas was a thing for them, but I could be wrong. He's allergic to it. I mean, Cassie just knows things.
She gets me.
So another one based out of Kansas City, which no idea. No idea. Pictures with Santa you've surely taken, but what about a photo with a fairy princess around the holidays? A department store called Klein's originated Kansas City's unique fairy princess tradition. According to the NPR, as the Jewish family who owned it wanted to... I'm going to just restart that. According to NPR, as the Jewish family who owned it wanted a denominational figure for shoppers to visit. For decades after, the outlet said the fairy princess greeted families at Klein's each December in her white gown, gloves, and diamond tiara. For just 25 cents, children could visit and have their picture taken with the princess. At the tap of her magic scepter, each child received a gift that slid out from a secret chute. That's a clever idea.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask everybody watching right now, what is the weirdest gift you've either given somebody or have gotten from somebody?
I'll say mine.
You already know it off the top of your head like that?
I already know mine off the top of my head.
What was it?
Bacon flavored candy canes. It was a white elephant gift, and somebody stole my gift, and they gave me bacon flavored candy canes.
That's gotta be disgusting. It's just like
it was. It was absolutely horrid. It tasted like burnt bacon. It wasn't even good bacon, just burnt bacon. You know, it could have like candy canes are sweet, right? So it could have tasted like maple bacon or brown sugar maple bacon, something nice, right? Nah, it was burnt bacon is what it tasted like. Screw that gift.
It's like it's like they caramelize like the bacon grease and everything into a stick.
Right.
Here you go.
God, it was horrible. It was so nasty. Anyways,
I don't even know what the worst thing I got.
I bet you weren't expecting me to just have one like that ready to go.
No, I wasn't.
That will always forever live to be my most hated Christmas gift. Forever.
I think if anybody like getting a Christmas gift, getting the worst one is always going to be like at an office Christmas party or a work function or a school thing. But like, I remember getting something where it was like it was clear that they did not put the time into it.
Yeah, like
they just saw it and they picked it up off of a bargain bin shelf and was like, "Here you go, Merry Christmas." Yeah. I'm like, really? I guess that would be mine. Like my sister-in-law did that. to me for one Christmas. She just grabbed some piece of shit thing off of a bargain bin shelf.
It's like you really don't know me very well, do you? You just got it for me.
You just grab something and slap my name on it.
Random. All right. At least like so when I buy gifts, it's like I try to get something that this person will actually like want or need. Like a friend of mine who I know likes to party, I got them it's a shot roulette thing. It's a chamber, but here's the thing. It's not here's a shot, push the button, and then it goes around. It's actually a Russian roulette thing where there's like 6 chambers, and you can't see once you close it. You push the button, and there's 5 shots in there, but 1 empty space. So push the button, that comes out, you got to take that shot, or you don't take a shot at all.
That's cool.
Like, it's pretty freaking clever, so I'm excited to give this to her.
Hell yeah.
But,
one of those?
Huh?
Have you ever done one of those?
No.
It's so crazy.
I know Spencer's, like, that's where I got that one, but, so I will say, when we were talking about, like, worst, like, gifts ever, I will say someone's best gift, I saw an article, someone won over $130,000 from a scratcher ticket that they were gifted at a white elephant party. Here's the thing. They had a physical gift, just a normal gift. Somebody stole their gift, and that steal was those scratcher tickets. So that person that got their gift stolen was given scratcher tickets, got over $130,000. How pissed would you be if you were the one that A, bought the tickets, and then B, stole gave the tickets away?
Now, I won't lie, like, my friend Gene did something similar. He was a manager for Shoney's in Neosho, and
oh yeah,
he always bought like the $20 scratchers. And
oh yeah,
he actually did pretty good on those all the time. You know, went about $600 a week off of them.
Nice.
But he bought a friend of his or one of his employees a scratcher for his birthday, and he told them if it's over $1,000, you have to split it with me.
Ooh.
It was $10,000.
Oh, no way! Did he split it with him?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good. Glad the person lived up to their word.
Yeah, after the taxes, I think Gene got I want to say $3,500 or $35 to $400.
Hey, that's $35 you didn't have.
To $4,000.
Somebody, lucky. Some people are lucky as shit,
Yep, and Cassie's going to hell for cursing somebody.
Wow, Cassie, good job.
You should have put a disclaimer in there saying if you win over this amount, you got to split it with me.
Yep.
If you're going to give scratchers away, that's what you got to do. I think
exactly.
I think that's a law or something.
It just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Or if you win some of this, you got to give it some of it back. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a big amount, that's what I would do. But
this last Christmas, there was a family that got a gift that I don't think they really wanted. This is a news article out of Mississippi, Brandon, Mississippi. It starts off, it sounded like someone was knocking on the walls. That's how Whitney Merritt describes the beginning of the nearly 3 weeks of alleged paranormal activity her family endured after receiving a Christmas present last month. The present was a vintage doll carriage. Her mother had gotten it from a friend of a friend and had gifted it to Whitney's daughter, where it sat by the Christmas tree for the first few days. The knocking, Whitney says, began at the beginning of the year. They would hear it on the walls of their Brandon home, which they have recently moved into. The sounds grew so loud that on 2 occasions, Whitney walked to the front door thinking someone was outside. It was midnight, so Whitney called her husband, Michael, who works nights. She said, "I think someone's at the front door," she told him before turning on the porch light. When she opened it, there was no one there. And then about the 3rd or 4th night was when they started hearing boom, boom, boom in the attic, she recalls as she rubs her chest. At first, they simply wrote it off. The home was built in 1992. Maybe it was just settling in. I don't know. Logical reasons she was trying to come up with in her head. But soon the sounds above their living room became so frequent that they could no longer be ignored. So
Oh my
one week
gosh.
in the middle of the night, Michael went into the attic carrying a shotgun and a flashlight, expecting to find somebody up there.
Huh.
Whitney says, "We were out there making so much noise. People probably thought we were crazy. We thought there was somebody in the attic, but no one was up there." And so ended week one.
Hmm.
Week two started with a bang. It was around 2 or 3 in the morning when Whitney was awakened from what she calls a dead sleep. The noise was so loud, she says, that she thought their dog had crashed through the window of their door. She grabbed her handgun and walked around their home, but found nothing. In the morning, while walking into the kitchen, when she discovered the bag on the ground. In the bag were the coffee mugs she had recently purchased from TJ Maxx. The bag was 3 to 4 feet away from the table. Both of the mugs were broken. There was no way that they could have fallen over at all. Whitney says adamantly. I mean, they were on their side. They weren't on their side or anything. They're just not going to roll. You know what I mean? They just don't roll. Next night, another.
Okay.
This time it was around 3:30 in the morning. Whitney rushed into the kitchen to find another bag on the floor. Inside, another shattered mug.
Huh.
This time, shards of glass had come out of the bag, and so Whitney began sweeping it up. After putting the glass in the trash can, Whitney started walking back to her bedroom. That's when she said she heard the sound of someone dropping a load of silverware into the sink. She says, I mean, I wasn't even back to the bedroom yet, and that's when I turned around. I about broke my neck. She says, and I went back to the sink to look and was like, maybe something slipped and fell, but I had just done the dishes. There was nothing in the sink, so I was freaked out. I stayed up for a while. The last week, a series of events occurred involving her children's room and their toys. The dream catcher and lamp in her daughter's room fell to the floor multiple times. After investigating it the second time they fell, Whitney and Michael were walking back to their bedroom when the bathroom door slammed right behind them. At first, they thought maybe one of their children had gone to use the bathroom, but the light never came on. She said, so my husband opened up the door real quick and turned the light on, and there was nothing in there. And he stood there messing with the doors in the hallway for a minute, just trying to find a logical explanation, like maybe it was the suction that's slamming the door. But the door never moved again. The next day, the family was in the living room when one of their children's toy cars started playing music repeatedly. When they checked it, the toy's power switch was turned off. Later that evening, Whitney went to wake up Michael for work. As he got ready, Whitney began to sweep the living room. As she swept, she saw her husband walk into the kitchen to fix himself some coffee. She says she asked him a question, which he ignored, so she asked it again. Still no answer. Frustrated, she walked into the kitchen, but found no one there. Whitney walked back into their bedroom to find her husband asleep.
Oh, that's not weird at all.
I saw him, Whitney says. I swear on my kids that I'm not crazy. Please don't think I'm crazy, because repeating this to somebody, I know it sounds weird, because I've never believed in any of that ever in my life. I'm not, but I saw a person walk past the door into the kitchen. Then came the final straw. It was the day after Whitney says she saw someone walk into her kitchen. She had gone to get groceries at the Kroger on Spillway Circle with her daughter. Her 4-year-old was at their grandparents, and her 7-year-old was at school. Michael was the only one home. Whitney said it was around 12:30 when he called her. Hey, is Paxton home? Michael asked. Whitney said no, that he was still in school. When Whitney and her daughter got home, Michael explained the call. He said that he was in bed when he heard the front door close. Then he heard Paxton's door close. Then he began hearing knocking on the walls. He called Paxton's name 5 or 6 times, but there was no answer. That's when he got up and walked into his son's room. Paxton's bedroom light was on, his Xbox was on, and a bottle of water was actively dripping on the floor. After telling Whitney the story, they had a discussion about all the strange occurrences at their home and when they had begun. Uh, and then they fixated on the little baby carriage and they stuck it outside. Since then, everything has been normal. No more footsteps in the attic.
Well,
Whitney
that's good.
says, let's see, the carriage now resides in the garage and has been placed on Facebook Marketplace for $65. Full disclosure, Captain reads, it's definitely haunted, so yeah.
Definitely.
She did say that she eventually received more backstory on the carriage from her mother, who told her that the owner's husband had been killed in a motorcycle accident on
What?
the a year ago. She believes that it's possible that that's who she saw walk past in her kitchen. So, yeah,
All right then.
add to cart. Buy now.
Right. So I'm going to talk about some interesting folklore and traditions over in Iceland. So, considering that Iceland has been rather isolated from mainland Europe since its settlement, a lot of Icelandic folklore is unique and reflects very hard life here in old days. No wonder that even a light and joyful time like Christmas is connected to dark and scary stories and beliefs. Just like the well-known Santa Claus lives in the North Pole together with the elves and reindeer, all 16 most famous Yule characters share together a cave up in the mountains. The evil Icelandic Yule cat lives together with an ugly child-eating troll, Grillia, her lazy third husband, Lepaludi, and their 13 sons, the Yule lads. The Yule lads, sometimes called Christmas trolls or Icelandic Santas, thankfully don't eat anyone and are even believed to bring small gifts for well-behaving children. However, they are big pranksters and thieves. Read more about them here. Kind of like, big pranksters. Who's a big prankster in Viking lore? Loki? Anyways. But we're going to talk about the Yule cat specifically. If someone is not familiar with the Icelandic Christmas traditions, chances are that hearing the words Christmas cat, one will imagine something like, cute little cats with cute little Santa hats on them, or little elf ears, or reindeer ears.
I think it's like a wildcat face, or like a.
Well, that's you, Dave. That you're different.
I don't know.
When you think of Christmas cat,
well,
if someone came up to you like, "Hey, how's the Christmas cat?" or "Want to see my Christmas cat?"
You're talking about an Icelandic thing. I think of the lynx. That's what I think.
Oh yeah, there you go. So, but the evil Icelandic Christmas cat is nothing close to being cute or little. In stories, it is described as a huge and terrifying, with glowing, wicked eyes, sharp whiskers, and claws. It is definitely one of the most disturbing creatures Icelanders believe in. The Yule cat comes down from the mountains during Christmas time to sneak around in the dark of winter nights and look for its prey. So who is it hunting for? Does it punish people for doing something bad? It would probably not be your first guess, but the Yule cat persists those who didn't receive new clothes for Christmas. Basically forcing people to give new clothes to people for Christmas. Hey, don't want your loved ones to get eaten up by the Christmas cat? Give them new clothes!
That's why your grandma always gave you socks.
Yeah. Okay, this name is just Hacher S. Magnusson in Reykjavik Grapevine calls it a sort of proto-fashion police. It sounds so wrong and unfair to punish even more the people who are very poor, and though it seems like there is no way to somehow justify this monstrous reason, there's a theory that could be explained. So that also makes me think, is maybe the rich made it up to keep the really poor at home.
Maybe.
To keep the vagabonds, in their house, not out and about during Christmas. I don't know. So it's believed that the Yule Cat's legend was used to motivate was used as motivation for farm workers to finish processing the autumn wool for Christmas when they finished tasks given to them. They would receive new clothes from farm owners and therefore would be safe from evil cats. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this new shirt. I will continue to work for you so around Christmas time I don't get eaten by an evil cat.
By that time, they're going to need another new shirt. So
exactly.
Just keep
What
it
about
back.
little children and less fortunate families? The Yule Cat makes no exceptions. It is terribly hungry. So
It'll
poor
give-
mothers were desperately knitting or sewing little garments for their children before Christmas nights. So that no one goes into the Icelandic cat, an old saying. No one goes into the Icelandic cat. It's an old Icelandic saying, apparently.
All right.
Cool. It is ironic to think about many kids nowadays being unhappy with clothes as Christmas gifts, isn't it? They'd often say grandma's socks, scarves, sweaters are boring compared to toys. But in Icelandic stories, you would literally die for those socks, or should I say, without them. So it's kind of like appreciate what you have.
Yeah.
Don't be ornery little shits and not appreciate what you don't have or what you have.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm like every kid does not want to get clothes unless it's like
No.
something cool, like brand new freaking Nikes.
Something I'm showing off to my friends or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. If my parents got me anything like Star Wars clothes, like
Yeah.
Marvel clothes, I was ecstatic because that's stuff I loved.
clothes with like humor or something on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be ecstatic
But-
about it. Like, oh, that's cool. Haha. I'll actually.
Oh,
wear it.
great! You got me new underwear. Thanks.
Yeah, socks.
Oh,
underwear.
new socks. Thanks.
My grandma did
Yeah,
that. So did my
yeah, I
dad
understand.
a couple times.
All right. So now, how famous is the Christmas cat? You all know the Yule Cat, and that the cat was a huge indeed. People didn't know where he came from or where he went. That's a Yule poem by Johannes Ur Kotlum. In Iceland, Christmas. This sentence structure sucks. In Iceland, the Christmas cat is familiar to everyone, of course. A number of artworks are devoted to it, but is rather infamous than popular. The Yule lads are in better regard. They put gifts in shoes, after all, so like a stocking stuffer. Interestingly, the Yule cat seems to wake more interest abroad than other Yule characters. Is it because its story is so ridiculous and unbelievable, or maybe it owes its fame to Björk, a famous Icelandic singer? You can listen to her song Jolan. What?
Bjork.
Yeah, Björk.
Yeah, the J is not like.
Yeah, I know. I messed it up. Whatever.
Whoa! This is a family-friendly show, there, Charles.
It's YouTube. Whatever. The song is based on a poem. Okay, you already heard that. Anyways, so yeah, the Christmas cat. That's very interestingly, like, it kind of forces parents to get their kids stuff, but then it also forces the kids to appreciate the clothes so they don't get hunted down and die or killed.
Maybe that's the Ozark Howler.
Is a cat?
Kinda.
I thought howlers go ho.
No, the Ozark Howler is a
No,
demon
I know.
cat thing with
I-
horns.
I didn't think the Ozark Howler was a demon cat. I thought it was just like because it howls, and the only thing that howls, cats don't howl.
We did the show on the Ozark Howler.
I know, but I don't see the Ozark Howler as a cat though.
It's a cat, bear, pig, man, bear, pig.
If they want to be like it's the Ozark Prowler, then that makes more sense.
Yeah, well, it screams at night, kind of like the mountain lion, but it's got a different kind of tone to it, I guess, or something like that. But it's out
True.
there, guys. It's gonna creep up.
Yeah, gotta love cryptids.
That's what I'm looking. I'm actually kind of looking forward to some snow. You know, I really want to go out
I am too.
to certain properties and just see if I can find any footprints.
Yes.
Of course, I take a picture, nobody's gonna believe it. They're like, "Oh, you faked that."
Well, of course, yeah. That's,
Like, yeah, of course,
course.
I did. Trying to get famous.
oh yeah, of course. That's what you want to do. Did you talk about the flying witches of Norway?
No, just the ones in Italy.
All right. So, according to Norwegian folklore, Christmas Eve is the day when mischievous spirits and witches take to the skies for mischief and general tomfoolery. So, in Norwegian folklore, there you go. That's more spiritual aspects to the thing than what we talked about earlier.
Indeed.
So, okay. Well, this video. Oh no, yeah. You're just gonna tell me that and not give me any backstory? Hold on, that's stupid. Pigeon. Don't want to spell that wrong.
Everybody's waiting, Charles. We're all waiting for you.
Yes. I guess there was a witch trial in Norway. Do you know that?
I'm not surprised. I didn't know it, but I'm not surprised.
I didn't know that.
Huh. Well, I remember when we did the whole witch trials thing, when we talked about the stuff going on in Europe, just kind of broad stroked it with Europe. So I'd assume it'd
Absolutely.
be
So that's way too much.
all much.
Huh. So I guess so. The Smithsonian made a article saying how the witches were much cooler than Krampus.
What?
Yeah. While Krampus may be the king of the holiday scares, his fans may be overlooking an equally nasty but more formidable queen, a Christmas monster who lives further north in the frigid climes of Iceland, who goes by the name of Glila, or sorry, Grilla.
Yeah.
The Christmas Witch. This tough ogress lives in the caves in Iceland's hinterlands, the matriarch of a family of strange creatures, launching attacks on nearby townships, snatching up misbehaving children, and turning them into delicious stew. You don't mess with Grilla, of course. The head of the folklore department, Terry Crunnell, says, she rules the roost up in the mountains. Tales of the ogress began as oral accounts, with the earliest written references found in the 13th century in historic sagas and poems throughout the region. One reads, here comes Grilla down in the fields with 15 tails on her. While another one describes, down comes Grilla from the outer fields with 40 tails, a bag on her back, a sword and knife in her hand, coming to carve out the stomachs of children who cry for meat during Lent. That's not messed up at all.
Right.
All right. Starve out your... Yeah, it was, in Iceland, the midwinter holiday known as Yule, a version of the Old English and Old German word Yule, which describes this time of gathering together, feasting and celebrating, which evolved into modern-day Christmas, is generally darker than in the U.S., and not just because the sun barely comes out during that time of year. According to Gunnell, the earliest celebrations of the season were viewed as a time not only to bring together relatives, living and deceased, but also elves, trolls, and other magical and spooky creatures believed to inhabit the landscape. Sometimes these figures would visit in the flesh as masked figures going around to farms and houses during the season. Kind of sounds like Halloween, doesn't it?
Kind of.
Grilla, whose name translates loosely into growler, would be among these, showing up with horned tail and a bag into which she would toss naughty children. She was certainly around in about 1300, not directly associated with Christmas, but associated with a threat that lives in the mountains. You never knew exactly... Okay, where to go? Never knew exactly where she was. Long poems were written about her and a husband, but he didn't last long. She ate one of her husbands when she got bored with him. In some ways, she's the first feminist in Iceland. Other bits of folklore describe a second troll-like husband, a giant man-eating Yule cat, known to target anybody who doesn't have on new clothes, which we talked about just a little bit ago.
Yep.
So... the Yule lads, each of the troublemakers visit Icelandic households on specific days throughout December, unleashing their individual types of pestering. Hordaskiller is partial to slamming doors. Come on, where to go? Potaskeffel eats any leftovers from pots and pans, and Jugnachir lives up his namesake of sausage swiper.
Can we all just like take a moment and appreciate the fact that Charles is trying to pronounce these?
I'm trying to pronounce these Norwegian words. I'm sure I butchered it.
Hey, you gave it a good effort.
Thanks.
You gave it a great
Grilla
effort.
did not get Grilla did not get connected to Christmas until around the early 19th century, when poems began to associate her with the holiday. It was also about this time when the Yule Lads and Yule Cat, which had been standalone Christmas characters with no connection to Christmas, which then became part of the big creepy family. Yeah, that's Sausage Swiper. That's exactly what I thought, Cassie. Prior to that, she was really a personification of the winter and the darkness and snow getting closer and taking over the land again. According to Gunnell, not only did she represent the threat of winter, but she was seen as actually controlling the landscape. It is explained that the Icelandic people understood themselves to be more like tenants of the harsh environment where glaciers, volcanoes, and earthquakes dominate, and would view mythical creatures like Grilla as the ones who were really running the show when giants roamed the earth. Krampus only wishes he had such powers. Grilla is the archetypical villain and the atypical, whatever you want to say. And the fact that she's a matriarch makes her somehow more frightening. I don't know how that makes her more frightening, but whatever.
If I had to like pick one, I'm still gonna go with Krampus. Do you know why?
Doesn't he kill, like, eat people? But why?
Because we met him.
That's true. That was really cool.
He's a nice guy.
He was a very nice guy.
His minions were pretty cool too. But yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to see if there's anything else. Some critics tried to snuff out Grilla altogether, attempting to sideline the scary character with more family-friendly fare. One popular Christmas song describes her death. In more recent years, Icelandic as a whole, led by National Museum of Iceland, have worked to return the Yule Lads to their pre-Santa roots, trying to get them dressing in 17th and 18th century ragged clothes, bringing them back to the browns and the blacks of local wool colors, looking like aged hell angels without bikes. The characters appear in person with adults dressing them up to entertain and sing with the children who visit the National Museum. It's a little bit like hanging on to the language and traditions of that kind to avoid the global Santa image. Even if it has the same roots as the past, they'd rather hang on to their Icelandic version. Totally understand. Pillington, this person working alongside the National Museum, has worked to do this in his illustration called The Yule Lads, a celebration of Icelandic Christmas folklore. And it's a kid's book about the Yule Lads. Likewise, Grilla has proven a tough figure to dislodge, with her likeness found throughout the capital city of Reykjavik and beyond, sometimes in the flesh. Children are truly terrified of Grilla in Iceland. I visited children's play schools to demonstrate drawing skills, and if I draw Grilla, then 2 or 3 children are terrified and are asked to leave the room because it's too strong for them. It's a living folklore for the children.
Well, this whole folklore, it's no wonder like you get like a lot of the black metal from Iceland and.
Oh yeah, right? Like just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they're a dark people. Like they're just pretty dark. Like I don't know what can you say? Maybe it all stems from tradition, and it just I don't know. But like it doesn't surprise me that they would have a folklore like that.
It doesn't surprise me either. Look at their gods too. Like Norway's, like you go back in the day of Norway, and you look at the Viking gods and how intense they were, and certain people. Whew, man.
So, guys,
that's strange land.
That's going to do it for us tonight with our holiday episode. We're going to be jumping over to our After Dark here in about 15 minutes. We'll be on live over there. So if you want to join us, go to the patreon.com/Boogeyman Radio. Join us on Patreon. We'll discuss what we're going to do next week as well. And for those of you on Patreon, you get to help us decide. You guys always have a voice.
Always.
But
apparently Cassie more than others. But hey, I'm okay with that.
If you guys aren't going to join us over there, we appreciate you being here. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, everything.
Thanks, Kelly. Thank you, Lori. And yes, Cassie,
Have
more
a great-
sausage swiping on Patreon.
Have a great sausage swiping. So,
We will.
we'll see you guys next week with our topic that we're going to pick from the After Dark. So,
Bye,
want to
everybody.
know what it is? Join us on Patreon.
Do, do, do.